welcome back to my channel if you've already been here before, and if you're new, welcome. My name is zimbabweanyoutuber and I'm the author of Things You Need to Hear Most. Things you need to hear most is, my baby, my labor of love. It is an upcoming collection of poetry and reminders of self-love. And, I talked a bit about it in the first video, but today I really wanted to share a bit more about where the book came from and, like what it means to me and how I hope it can touch you too. So, throughout my life, I've really been like an overachiever. I've always been in environments that reward overachieving, like high achieving behavior. And I think, I don't even know where to start. Like, so much has happened this year. I know, like 2020, a lot of you guys might, well, everyone will probably be able to relate, but it's really been a whirlwind of a year. I always say it's not the year we wanted, but it's the year we needed. And I know for me, it's definitely the year I needed. So just a bit of background, like I'll start in January. So what this year looked like for me, January, I was falling a little sick. I had like a cold or flu, like whatever it was. I don't think it was corona at the time, but I had to go on antibiotics for like the infection that I had, and it sort of kind of cleared, like maybe like I'd say like 80% gone. And afterwards I was like, screw this, I'm tired of being sick, I'm just gonna live my life as normal. And that's what I did. And in March, fast forward to March, when the lockdown happened, the first week I was doing great. I was like doing yoga and like exercising and walking and everything. And then the second week, things just like went left for me again. So it was kind of like the initial like infection or whatever it was came back, but this time it was worse. So I literally couldn't do anything. So even just like cleaning or like taking a walk for more than 10 minutes, I'd wake up the next day feeling like I'd been hit by a bus. So a lot of those days, like I could do nothing but just lie in my bed, the bed I'm sitting on today. And it was just so hard for me because as someone who placed a lot of my worth into things that I was doing, like I was now in a space where I was forced to just not do anything. And then it was questions and things that came up for me, like, okay, if I'm not doing anything, then like who am I, like what worth, what value do I bring? And it really forced me to have like very difficult internal conversations and like internal dialogue, and try to understand where some of these things were coming from for me. So one thing that really helped me during this time was like writing and like journaling. And I remember the first day I tried it, I literally sat down and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try this journaling thing. I don't know what to write, this feels stupid, whatever. And over time I've just started to write like thoughts, things that came into my head, things I wanted to explore more. And I don't remember how this started, but I started to get better. I was working with, like, I had a whole team of people to help me be like normal. I had like a naturopath who helped me so much, put me on different like supplements and everything that helped me get back to like my physical health. I was working with like different doctors. Some of them thought like I was perfectly fine, even though I knew, like I felt I wasn't fine. So like one big thing I want to say right now is really like advocate for your health. No one knows how you feel except for you. And if you feel like there's something wrong, then there's something wrong, and definitely advocate for yourself. Side note. And you know, I was working with a therapist, so on all aspects, and like my friends, of course, who were like there for me and checking in on me and stuff. But during that time, I used to, when I was better, I could go outside, and I really loved just like being by the water because there's a beach near my home, and I'll just like sit there. And I remember the first day I went, I was like, okay, how long am I supposed to sit here? Like, what do I do? And I don't know, over time I started to just enjoy just sitting and like doing nothing, which was new for me, because before it would be like, I'm not doing anything, I'm like wasting time, I should be doing something, I should be creating things, I should be like go, 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 go. And you know, this is like the complete opposite. So I think that's why at the beginning it was very challenging for me. And you know, just sit there, look at the clouds. Like I've always loved the clouds, especially since I was a kid. I remember like I'd cry as a toddler or whatever. I just remember them. I just still have the memory. But my mom would put me by the window because we lived in this like apartment. It was on the 4th floor, and it had this giant like glass window. And at sunset, I would just sit and watch the sky, watch the clouds and the birds flying by. So now, like just looking at the clouds, I know it's always just been very calming, and it's just like amazing. Guys, look at the clouds. They're so beautiful and they're so different every day. It's like art piece. Anyway, I'm not gonna go too deep into that because I love the clouds. When you read my book, you will know, or you'll get a glimpse of it. And yeah, I used to just like go by the water with my journal, watch the clouds. And I remember like around that time I wanted to also start exploring some of the, like I was trying to discover like my gifts and to explore some of the things that I'd been good at as a kid that I haven't been doing as much as an adult, and writing was one of them. So it was probably like April, May. I remember walking to the beach and I was literally observing everything. I was looking at the grass and I was like, oh, there's so many like flowers. What are these flowers called? And I read up on it and I saw it was dandelions, and I looked at the whole like journey of how they grow and turn into these like little clouds which blow away. Spoiler alert, there is a poem about that in the book. And I know it was just like so peaceful, and I think just being outside in nature really brought out a lot of that creativity for me and helped me get better too. Because long story short, I realized, well, I had to do a lot of blood tests and everything, and I realized that the issue was like low vitamin D. So it's common in North America, especially for like Black people, because we need at least like 3-4 times the amount of like sunlight, and I wasn't getting any sun because my old apartment was facing my neighbor, so I wasn't getting sun at all. And that first week of quarantine I wasn't going outside whatsoever, so I think my levels just tanked because of that. Because when I did the tests, they say the low range of like vitamin D is supposed to be 70. That's if you're low. Mine was at 24, so it was like severe deficiency, and that's what led to like me being tired all the time, chronic infections, you know, like the depression, like everything. It affects everything. So happy to say I'm doing so much better now, as you can see. But yeah, I think that the book and my writings was really something that carried me through that difficult time. And as you read it, I've organized it into different chapters. I've been really inspired by butterflies and their journey from like, you know, they're born, they become this caterpillar that just like eats everything, just taking everything in, and then when it's ready, gets into this like little cocoon, and there's so much that happens within that cocoon that we don't see, and once it's ready, it emerges as this like beautiful butterfly. And I really relate with that experience because I think that through my journey, not just like this year with everything that's happened, but throughout my life, I feel like, you know, I've lived that butterfly's journey, and I'm not sure if I'm like on the other side yet. I don't know if there's even ever like that final destination, but I know I've grown so much and I've like blossomed so much like this year and everything leading up to it, and I have shared a lot of that in the book. So I'm very excited about it. I am just so grateful and happy for all of the support that I've gotten so far about it. You know, like I don't even know how to explain it, but I really understand now, you know, the saying where it's like it takes a village. Like I really understand now, because there are days when I'm just like, oh, I'm tired, and you know, people message me like, hey, like when's the book coming out, how are things going? And I'm like, okay, you know, like it fuels me to be able to keep doing this and to bring it to the world. So I'll be honest, I don't know when it's coming 100%. I've been just following like what feels right, and it's completely new to me, because before I used to just like plan everything to the dot and then look at the list and get overwhelmed and then not do the thing. But then this time it was literally like, it started off by me just like writing, and then I realized I had a common theme between the things I was writing, and I would read the stuff later on and be like, you know what, I think other people need to hear this. And that's when the book idea came. And you know, I started by just focusing on the writing. Then when it felt right, I started to talk about it and sharing it on social media and doing this channel. So really I've just been doing things as they feel right. So which is why I don't know when it's coming up, but it's either this year or early next year. Still figuring things out, but I'm very grateful to have you on the journey, to have your support. Like it really does mean so much to me, and I really never expected it. So thank you for your support. I will continue to share updates as they come on the book, and until then, I think I'll leave you guys with a little note, like a poem. Give me a second. But before I get into that, I just wanted to say, like, it's just been so much fun for me to just create with no expectation, because I didn't expect this to be a book. I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna do this, and I was like, okay, it's just becoming a collection, but still there's no like expectations or no, I'm not putting any pressure on myself. And it's just been so fun to see what it's becoming and how it like continues to change. And you know, like I think about it every day. I may not be actively working on it, but I'm still doing like work on myself, which eventually translates to work on the book. So yeah, it's been such a, I know, I'm very grateful for this whole thing. So it's called The Wandering Cloud Knows Its Course. The wandering cloud knows its course, growing and shrinking along her voyage across the sky, but never losing course. She may merge with other clouds, enjoying their company for a while, but she never loses sight of her vision, for coordinates of her destiny are divinely programmed in her atoms.